comfortable these days is just being on my knees and then having something to prop my seat up in between my feet. All right, so I just use like 2 blocks here. And go ahead and just like sit up nice and tall. So maybe even take a rock of the pelvis forward, thinking like that cow-like motion in the spine. And then sending the back of your heart back, shoulders forward, dropping your chin to your chest. So taking whatever feels good. So whether you're on your knees, and that feels awesome, you're like, no way, know that how you sit doesn't have to be where you stay. Okay, first moment of grace for today. If you feel like, yeah, you want to just like find one shin in front of the other, and that's okay, awesome, that works too. But yeah, if you were wondering, I just have like 2 blocks right in between my feet, all nice and cozy. So then whether you're on the ground or on those blocks, bring your hands to your thighs or into your lap, whatever feels better, just like giving yourself somewhere for them to go. And then maybe even shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, take a deep breath in. And allow them to drop back and down as you empty. And then if you want, of course, you can close your eyes if that's helpful to just like tune a few things out. And then maybe start to like tune in, if you wish, to maybe the sound of your breath. The quality of your breath or the cadence of your breath. So just observe. No need to really fix anything or change or fight against anything. Maybe then notice the sound that your breath makes. Does your breath feel rushed? Does it feel shallow? Take a full breath in. Maybe start to lengthen your inhale a little bit longer. And then see if your exhale can be just a little bit longer than your inhale. So maybe you inhale for the count of 3. And then exhale for the count of 4. And that can be a fast 3, a fast 4. Or it might even be a 2 and a 3, whatever works for you. Just like find your rhythm that feels good, but become aware of it. Try not to judge it. And take just a few more rounds wherever you are. And if you're someone who likes to like set an intention at the beginning of your practice, if that feels comforting, you bring to mind one word, something you're working on already, or something you'd like to bring in a little bit more of during this time. Or just like your reason for showing up. Bring that to mind and take one more big breath in, fill it all the way up. And a long breath out. So nice. And then start to just drop your chin to your chest. Take a little bit of movement in the neck here. Roll one ear to one side and then the other. Maybe start to rock again front to back, similar to what we did last week, thinking about that like cat-cow spine forward and back. And then come back to center, or neutral rather, and then sweep your arms out and up. Take a deep breath in. And then just twist towards your right. Just one time. And take a breath in, rise back up through center, big inhale. And then exhale, twist to the left. Now back up through center, big inhale, you'll reach up. Interlace your fingers and flip your palms up towards the sky. Really feel the sides of your waist get long, and then use your exhale to lean over to the right. Yes, and then back up through center. Awesome, over to the left. Back up through center. And then you'll release your hands down, walk them forward, and meet me in a tabletop position, hands and knees. So your knees can land right underneath your hips if that feels okay. If you need that cushion underneath your knees, that blanket or pillow can go there, of course. And then maybe start to tuck your toes under. And then you just rock the weight forward to back, forward to back. See if that feels okay. Maybe a cat-cow here along the way. Maybe lateral movement side to side, all of those things we went over last week. And then whenever you're ready, meet me in your first downward facing dog. Now it might feel early, so you can take your feet a little bit wider than hips with distance. And then I always encourage you to bend your knees a lot. So you can feel your low back lengthening out. So maybe you rock the hips side to side. You can even shake out the head, yes and no. Maybe bend one knee at a time. And then the other, dropping one heel down at a time to lengthen the back of the legs. Nice, easy stretch here. And then start to walk your hands and your feet together. You'll just land in the middle of your mat. It doesn't have to be perfect or beautiful. Take a halfway lift right here. Bring your hands to your shins, your thighs, or even your hips, and reach your chest forward. So nice. And then use your exhale to fold right back down and let your head be the last thing. Nice. And then one more like that. Halfway lift, big breath in to lengthen. And then exhale to fold right back down. Now, halfway lift, bring your hands to your hips right here. Lengthen through your spine, and then just stand all the way up, nice and easy. Take your arms down along your sides. See if you can spread your toes really wide apart. And then think about the four corners of your feet pressing down into the ground. So your big toe, your pinky toes, your inner and outer heel, like you were plugging them down into the earth, and spread your fingers really wide. Take a breath in, shrug your shoulders up to your ears. And then breathe out to feel the chest broaden as you drop them down and back. And start to just take two big steps to the top of your mat. See if you can keep that same foundation in your feet. So you're now at the top of your mat in Tadasana or mountain pose. Use your next breath in to reach your hands all the way up towards the sky. Nice, and then use your exhale to fold forward, but soften through your knees. Nice, now use your next inhale to find a halfway lift, your flat back, your spine, right here. And then you'll drop your hands down and take a big step back with your left foot. And then if it feels okay on your knee, drop your left knee down. Reach your hands all the way up. Take a big breath in this lunge. Bring your right hand to your left wrist. Lean over to the right. So you get an even deeper stretch through the side body. And then you'll rise back up. Take a big breath in. Take your hands down towards the ground. And then tuck your back toes and lift that knee up. Find downward facing dog. You'll just step your right foot back to the back of your mat. Now use your inhale to pull forward to a plank pose. If that feels good, you can drop your knees down. That's always an option. Take one more breath in right here. And then lower all the way down to your belly. So you're on your belly. Or come to hands and knees. That's where I have to stay. So you'll take a breath in on your belly or on your hands and your knees and lift your chest up. So we find cobra pose if you're on your belly. If you are on hands and knees, you lift your chest and find cow pose. And then exhale to lower back to the ground, come back to neutral in the spine. Tuck your toes under. Maybe press through your knees. You send your hips back, downward facing dog. So once in down dog, take a full breath in. Big breath out. Now lift your left leg, three-legged dog. Maybe roll the left ankle out, wiggle the toes. And whenever you're ready, step your left foot to your left thumb. Big step. Drop your right knee down. And then you'll reach your hands all the way up. So you're back in that lunge, but on the other side. Now it's your left hand to your right wrist. Lean over to the left. Now you get to find that stretch in the front of the right hip, your right side waist. Now come back up through center, take a big inhale. Bring your hands down to frame your left foot. Tuck your back toes and lift your back knee up. Step your back foot to the top of your mat. So right foot meets the left. Forward fold once you're there. Halfway lift, big breath in to lengthen. Hands catch your hips, stand all the way up. Back to mountain pose. Arms down along your sides, palms forward, shrug your shoulders, breathe in. Maybe even open up your mouth, let out a sigh as you empty. Now we do all of that on the other side. So reach your hands out and up. You'll reach higher as you inhale. Soften your knees, fold forward as you exhale. So just matching movement with breath. Halfway lift, big breath in to lengthen. This time, step the right foot back. Big step. Drop the right knee down. Reach the hands high, huge inhale. Left hand to your right wrist. Lean over to the left. Now back up through center, big breath in. You'll bring your hands down to the ground. Tuck the back toes and lift the knee. Downward facing dog. Left foot comes to the back of your mat. Stay here, take a breath in. Big breath out. Pull forward to that plank pose, knees on or off the mat, your choice. And then use your exhale to lower all the way down to your belly or come to hands and knees, your choice. Lifting your heart, cobra or cow as you inhale. And then downward facing dog, either pressing through your knees or hips go straight up and back. You stay here. Full breath in. Big breath out. Now this time it's your right leg that will lift. We call this three-legged dog. Roll the ankle, wiggle the toes. And step right foot to your right thumb or right hand. Drop your left knee down. Now last time here, you're gonna reach your hands all the way up. Huge breath in that lunge. Right hand to your left wrist. Lean over to the right. And then it's back up through center. Big breath in. Hands come down to frame your right foot. Tuck your back toes and lift your knee up. Step left foot to meet your right. Forward fold. Halfway lift, big breath in. Hands catch your hips. Stand all the way up. Arms down along your sides, palms forward, shrug your shoulders as you inhale. Open your mouth, clear it out as you empty. So that whole thing on both sides completes your sun C. So your sun salutation C. We're gonna do A now. So as we start to build a little bit more heat, sweep your arms up, take a big breath in. Soft bend in the knees to fold forward and bow the chest down. If that feels okay. Halfway lift, big inhale to lengthen. Now this time, plant both feet, or plant both hands rather. Step both feet back into plank. Knees on or off your mat, of course. Take one breath in right here. And then again, either lower all the way down to your belly or come to hands and knees. Lift your chest, find cobra or up dog, or that cow pose, your choice. Downward facing dog, your hips go up and back and you pause here. For 3, 2, 1. Now, on your inhale, you'll rise up to your toes. And the bottom of your exhale, you bend your knees and you look to the top of your mat. Either 2 big steps, you walk, or you hop. Feet to the top of your mat. Once you are there, be easy on yourself. Halfway lift, big breath in. Hands can catch your hips like before, and then just stand all the way up. Arms down along your sides, palms forward, shrug the shoulders again, breathe in. Use this as your reset button and breathe out, maybe open your mouth, let them fall. Now, Sun B, this is the fun one. We're gonna modify it just a little bit. You're gonna reach your hands out and up, take a big breath in to stand up. And then use your exhale to bend your knees and sit back into chair pose. It doesn't have to be so deep, but enough to just feel the weight even in your feet. I like to keep my knees in line with my hips, toes pointing forward, and then lift your chest up. Stay here, take a full breath in. Maybe sink just a little bit lower. And then you'll stand up on your inhale, lengthen the legs. And then use your exhale to fold forward and bow the chest. Now it's a halfway lift right here as you inhale. I want you to step the left foot back, all the way back. Big step. Now start to spin your back heel down, and then you'll rise up to warrior 2. So your right knee is bent, right toes point forward, your left toes point towards the long edge of your mat. And then you just maybe sink a little bit lower. Soften your fingertips, soften your face. Stay, one more full breath in. Big breath out. Now straighten your right leg, reach your hands all the way up overhead. I want you to parallel your feet, so face the long edge of your mat. And then fold forward. So this wide leg forward fold, facing the long edge. And then here you get to shake out your head, yes. Soften your knees if that feels better. Maybe a rock of the hips side to side. And then find your halfway lift right here. Hands catch your hips and you stand all the way up. So nice. Now sweep your arms out and up. Take a big breath in. And then take your arms out for 5-pointed star pose. So as you press down through your feet and you reach through your fingertips, can you get even taller through the crown of your head? Take one more big breath in. And then bring your hands to your hips. Start to face the front of your mat. And I want you to just heel toe that right foot a little bit wider. You're gonna keep that back foot down on the ground, but almost at like a 45-degree angle. You'll hear that often, but every body is different. So with that right foot to the front, you'll bend your right knee, reach your hands up and overhead. So warrior 1 pose. Now here, you might start to reach your arms out like a T. And then maybe if that back knee gives you any discomfort, bend it. Take your arms down along your sides. Now if you want, bend the elbows and interlace your fingers at your sacrum. Now to find that opening through the chest, maybe roll the heads of the shoulders back. Maybe start to lift the chin. Stay here as you breathe in. Breathe out. So strong. Sweep the arms out and up, rise up. And then just step left foot up to the top of your mat. Land in mountain pose, Tadasana, palms forward again. Reset, shrug the shoulders as you inhale. Open your mouth, let them fall as you empty. And then again, sweep the arms out and up. Take a big breath in. We got to do the other side. You were blessed with two sides, so bend your knees, sit back in the chair pose. And you're not here long, just 3 full breaths, a moment in time. So breathe in and out through your nose. Maybe every exhale, you just lower a millimeter. It could be just a little bit. See what happens. And then you'll stand all the way back up. Take a full breath in. And then exhale to fold forward, bowing the chest down. Now it's your halfway lift again as you inhale, lengthen it up. This time, big step back with the right foot. Big step back. Spin the back heel down, and then you'll just rise up, warrior 2. So now it's your left knee that's bent. Make sure it tracks right over your ankle. So rather than it drawing in towards the right, see if you can stack it right on top. Stay here, take a full breath in. Maybe sink a little lower. Now you get to lengthen the legs and reach the arms up and overhead. See if you can parallel the feet. So all 10 toes are facing the long edge of your mat. Sweep the arms out and up. And then you hinge at the hips to fold forward, just like you did on the other side. Shake out the head. Maybe bend one knee. Find what it is that feels good. Let it work for you, rather than you working for it. And then it's your halfway lift again. Press through your feet, hands catch your hips. Stand all the way back up. Now sweep the arms out and up, rise up, huge inhale. Reach your hands out like 5-pointed star here. So spread the fingers wide. Think about something attached to your head, reaching up towards the ceiling. One more big breath in. And then hands catch your hips. Face the front of your mat, find warrior 1. So you'll wiggle walk that left foot a little wider to the left. Maybe the right foot comes out a little further to the right. So the outer edge of that back foot presses down into the earth, bend through your front knee, reach your hands high. Stay here nice and strong as you inhale. Big exhale. Now if you want that opening in the chest, bend through the elbows, arms down along your sides. Interlace the fingers behind you. Now roll the heads of the shoulders back. Think about squeezing the shoulder blades together. Maybe lift the chin. Stay as you inhale. Long breath out. And you'll sweep the arms out and up. Huge inhale to rise. Step your right foot up to the top of your mat. Land in your last mountain pose. So fingers spread wide, palms forward. Shrug your shoulders as you inhale. Open your mouth. Clear it out. And then you'll reach your hands all the way up. Big breath in. Bring your hands together right in front of your heart. Now, taking a moment on 2 feet to start. I want you to find one steady thing in front of you, something that's not moving. One point to look at, whether it's an object, something on the wall, whatever it is. And I don't want your eyes to move from that point. In yoga, we call it drishti. It's like where your focus goes physically. So keep it there and just pick your right foot up off the ground and maybe roll the right ankle around in both directions. And set the right foot back down. Keep your eyes on that point and then pick the left foot up. Roll the ankle. Both directions. And then set that foot back down. Now we're finding tree pose. So pick that right foot back up. Keep your gaze right on that point. Maybe that foot comes to your ankle. Maybe it doesn't even leave the ground. Maybe your big toe still roots to the earth. If you want, maybe bring it up to your calf. Maybe up to your inner left thigh. So finding tree pose, hands can come back to your heart. Maybe if it feels good, you can reach your arms up and overhead. Think about the top of your head, lifting up towards the sky. Take one more big breath in. Can you get even taller here? Nice, and then set the right foot back down, and then you'll just shift sides. So pick the left foot up, don't move your gaze. Tree pose, just on the other side. You're only here a few rounds of breath, but notice what happens when we focus on one point and let the things around us settle and soften, or just be as they are. And come back to your breath. Full breath in. Longer breath out. Awesome. And then you'll stamp that left foot back down. Reach your hands high as you inhale. Soft bend through the knees as you fold forward and bow your chest. Now finding your halfway lift here, get really long through the spine. You'll just step back, find downward facing dog, your last down dog. Pedal the feet, shake out the hips. One more breath in, maybe even lift your heels up, and then drop your knees slowly back down onto the ground, tabletop pose. Take a lift of your heart and find your cow pose. Press down through your hands and round your back to find cat pose. Do that one more time. Inhale to lift your chest up. Breathe in, cow. Exhale, rounding through the spine, cat. And if it feels good, maybe add in the lateral movement, side to side. Roll in a circle, one direction. And then the other. And then meet me in a seat whenever you're ready. Swing your legs around. Take your right ankle in front of the left. Knees nice and wide. Hands touch your knees. So you sit up nice and tall. Take a big breath in. Fill all the way up. Feel your chest expand. Open up your mouth. Get empty. Do that one more time. Breathe all the way into the top. All the way out to the bottom. And then revisiting what we did at the beginning of class. So sweep your arms out and up. Rise up. Breathe in. And use your exhale to twist to the right. Back up through center. Breathe in. Reach high. Exhale, twist to the left. Now back up through center, breathe in, reach up. Interlace your fingers and flip your palms high as you inhale. Lean over to the right as you exhale. Back up through center. Lean to the left. Big breath in. And then release your arms down. Now just switch. What shin is in front or what ankle is in front? Sit up nice and tall. Hands to your knees. Maybe shrug your shoulders this time. Again, give them a nice roll. Draw them back and down. Sweep your arms out and up. Take a big inhale to rise. This time, exhale over to the left. And then back through center, breathe in. Twist to the right. Back through center. Interlace your fingers overhead, flip your hands high, and then lean over to the left. Come back through center. Lean to the right. Back through center. Release your hands, bring them down along your sides, and take your legs out in front of you. Give them a little bit of a shake. Now taking staff pose, or dandasana, we call it. Start to flex through your feet. So your toes point straight up towards the sky. Hands by your seat here. I want you to be active. So press down through your hands if that feels good. Then maybe you can start to bend your knees and think about your heels almost dragging towards your seat. They don't really move. But can you sit up really tall here? So reaching through the crown of your head. Now keep that. Make sure there's enough space behind you. Reach your hands forward. And then maybe start to round, thinking like you were rounding in cat pose here. And then see if you can slowly lower one vertebra at a time, if that feels okay. You'll all the way down to the ground, you'll land on your back. Awesome. And then find that long body stretch. I want you to point your toes forward, reach your arms up and overhead. Take a huge breath in right here. Get so long. And then exhale, take your arms down along your sides, bending your knees and planting your feet hips width distance apart. Now keep the back of your head on the ground. Hands really press into the earth. Feet also press down and lift your seat. Bridge pose. You're just here for 3 rounds of breath. So stay in it, gaze straight up towards the ceiling. You're here for 3. Maybe start to hear the sound of your breath. Revisit it. 2. Last 1. And then you'll slowly return to the ground. Take your arms out like goalposts here. So you're bending at the elbows. Your palms can flip up towards the sky. And then your elbows just come straight out from your shoulders. And then take a breath in right here. Get really long. Let both knees slowly just start to fall over to the right. They don't have to find the ground, just to your degree. It can be just a little bit. And then come back through center. Let both knees fall over to the left, to your degree. And then back through center. Hug your knees towards your armpits, squeeze them in. Maybe a little rock side to side. As you slow things down, take one more inhale right here. And then making yourself comfy as you take your legs long towards the ground, arms down along your sides. Palms can flip up towards the ceiling. Choosing to close your eyes or just soften your gaze. So you can still keep your eyes open, but it's almost like you're letting in just a little bit less light, or you find your drishti, similar to what we did when we were balancing on one foot. So just staying on the ground here, letting every muscle start to soften, or giving permission to release. Maybe start with your toes here, bringing awareness to your toes. To the bottom of your feet, to your ankles, your lower legs, your knees, your upper legs, and even your hips. A big breath in to just notice that whole part of your body. And a breath out to feel it release, allow it to soften. And then bring your awareness to your belly. Up to your chest. To your shoulders. Down your upper arms. Your elbows. Down to your wrists. Your palms. Even the tips of your fingers. Take a big breath in. Use your exhale to give that part of your body permission to soften, to let go, and to release. And just bring your awareness to the back of your neck, the front of your throat, to your jaw, maybe even your tongue, let it soften. To your eyes, center of your forehead, and even the top of your head. Take that big breath in right here. Breathe out. Feel that sense of release to the earth. See if your whole body from your toes out through the crown of your head can stay at ease just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Staying here, of course, for as long as you need to stay. Or just allow your next breath in to be just a little bit bigger than the last. Long exhale to find that sense of ease. And just start to find a little bit of movement, if it's there, in your toes, your fingers, your wrists, your ankles, maybe even a rock of your head, side to side. Maybe one last long body stretch here, if that feels good. Arms overhead, toes point forward. And just start to bend your knees and roll to the side of your choice. That feels good. And press yourself all the way up to a seat, just where you started. Your hands can, for a moment, rest on your knees or in your lap. Eyes open or closed. Find this moment of pause. And I have a little reading that I wanted to share. I just thought it was applicable. Honor winter's lesson. Winter is an important season in our lives. It is more than a time of coldness and snow. It is a time of going within. A time to rest from the work that's been done. A time to prepare for the lessons ahead. Long for the sun on your shoulders, but let the frost and cold come. The ground has been left fallow in preparation for nourishing the new seeds of life. Honor winter's lesson. despite this time of lifelessness and inactivity. This is still a season of growth. Trust what's being worked out in your soul. The snow will melt. The sun will shine again. The time will come to remove your heavy garb and return to the activity of life. So cherish the winter, its quietness, the time of going within to rest and to heal. Cherish this time of preparation that must come before new life. Cherish the hope that lies beneath the snow. Go ahead and bring your hands together right in front of your chest. You can even lift your thumbs right up to the center of your forehead, and just letting this practice, as always, be a reminder of how you can just invite in a little more kindness to yourself, so then you can share it in your own way with others. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, and happy Monday. I'll give you guys